Good morning. My name is Twogood from Teradata. I'm here to talk about unleashing AI innovation with Teradata and Microsoft. For those of you that might not know, Teradata, we believe that people thrive when empowered with better information. We deliver the most complete cloud analytics and data platform for AI that includes Teradata VantageCloud, which is our technology built on a cloud native architecture, and Clearscape Analytics for delivering the most powerful and open and connected end-to-end AI and ML capabilities. We're recognized by industry leaders like Forrester and Gartner, and we're recognized for ESG recognition and being the most ethical company in 2023. We're also recognized by Newsweek as one of America's most responsible companies. In addition to that, we are trusted by the world's largest enterprise. So if you look at globally, 6 of the top 6 airlines use Teradata, 6 of the top 6 banks, 5 of the top 6 telecommunication companies, 4 of the top 5 automobile manufacturers, 5 of the top 5 healthcare, and 5 of the top 6 courier services, professional services, and retailers all choose Teradata. We all know that AI is the new innovation catalyst, and Gen AI has absolutely spurred the imagination of everybody in the marketplace, really leading towards a huge economic potential of over $25 trillion. One of the core things that we think about is how Teradata and Microsoft help enterprise accelerate that AI value now. One of the core things we do is we help manage uncontrolled data growth. Too often data is deployed in silos or has data sprawl, but being able to help integrate and harmonize that data so it can be used cross-functionally is critical to AI success. We build a flexible, open, and connected ecosystem, either using public or custom large language models for being able to connect to the open environment and bring that intelligence into your platform. And then we scale trusted and cost-effective AI. You must be able to operationalize AI to deliver the accountability, security, and trust, but also at the same time controlling costs. Teradata offers the most complete cloud analytics and data platform for AI, all the way from building on top of Microsoft Azure and doing tight integration with Azure ML, OpenAI, as well as their cloud platform. We help harmonize data. We optimize compute all the way from transaction into a serverless environment. We deliver integrated AI and ML within database analytics and model ops. We deliver world-class workload management for being able to optimize value and performance, and then we deliver ease of access. In ushering in this new era of AI, you've got to have a cloud-native platform. Our platform delivers full separation of compute and storage, and we leverage key data and AI services from Microsoft. We deliver the most open and connected AI ecosystem, and we're working with Microsoft now to deliver our platform on Microsoft Fabric and OneLake in Q2 2024. And then we've also innovated by delivering better insights with Clearscape Analytics and Teradata Ask AI to enable a natural language processing interface connected with OpenAI to be able to make it easier for users to democratize data and analytics. One of our great use cases between Teradata and Microsoft is American Airlines. And we were able to work with American Airlines to really bring data together and harmonize across 28 different business departments and deploy all of this in Microsoft Azure. This has enabled a 97% improvement in decision-making time. They're tracking by being able to reduce gallons of fuel for driving more efficiency and managing over 160 million passengers per year. With Clearscape Analytics, we deliver highly optimized in-database analytic functions, all the way from machine learning and time series to feature engineering and building out your enterprise feature store. Our platform offers core languages across Python, R, SAS, and SQL, and tight integration with a broad range of different technologies, and the ability to bring your own analytics through Open Analytics Framework, containers, and model sharing. And we also have built-in model ops, offering end-to-end lifecycle management, understanding model drift, managing model deployment, and doing all of your different model monitoring. With Clearscape Analytics capabilities to operationalize custom models, you can prepare your analytic data set for modeling in VantageCloud, take sample data out, leverage Azure ML, run and execute in a GPU with like NVIDIA, and then bring the data back in and export via ONNX, Open Neural Network Exchange, back into the data set and score the entire data set for operationalization. Teradata has launched a number of different AI initiatives specifically around Clearscape Analytics. Natural language interface of Teradata Ask AI. We're also going to be delivering Bring Your Own LLM, where you can bring and put an LLM inside of our Open Analytics Framework. We've got in-database data prep functions that really help populate and deliver information for AI and Gen AI models. External LLMs and integration with them through open APIs. We can do Gen AI at scale to be able to operationalize those business outcomes. And we do end-to-end pipeline management, all the way from building out the feature store to working with best-in-breed partners to train the data set to being able to operationalize. We also have an embedding store where we store highly dimensional embeddings so that we understand the vectors and can do real-time analysis against those vector distances. And some of those analysis includes in-database vector functions like cosine similarities. And then our full model ops integration and leveraging our partner tools like Microsoft for being able to execute integration with LLMs. I mentioned Teradata Ask AI. This is currently now in private preview in Azure, and it enables users to ask any question about data insights, about system operations, about queries that they want to generate, and it'll even generate code, really helping to democratize data and analytics across the board. The other thing I mentioned that we're working on is bringing Microsoft Fabric and Teradata together. So you can see Teradata AI Unlimited here integrated into Fabric, leveraging the administration, security and governance, UI experience, and pricing, and deploying against different workspaces such as projects, GitHub, pipelines, workflows, environments, and all done on storing the data and reading the data all in one lake. As I mentioned, this will be available in private preview in Q2 2024. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what that looks like inside the environment. So here you can see Microsoft Fabric. You've got all of the different native tools, and down here you've got Teradata AI Unlimited. Once you click on that, you see all of the other Fabric product experiences. You can click here and go to the Teradata AI Unlimited page. Here you've got an overview, ratings and reviews, privileges, details and support, and pricing plans. You say, okay, I want to go ahead and invoke that engine. By building in the new engine, you can go directly in and execute a notebook. When we add that lakehouse to the notebook, we're able to bring up Fabric. And in this case, we're going to do a product recommendation search. What we see with retailers today is there's so many different product offerings that it's very difficult to understand what different consumers want. So we're going to use Gen AI and product recommendation, leveraging Microsoft Fabric and OneLake to really deliver product recommendation. In this core environment, though, we're going to do a couple of key things. We're going to load the data from OneLake. We're going to use Azure OpenAI through Fabric. We're going to make all the AI computations using Teradata AI Unlimited, and then store all the result sets back in OneLake. And in this notebook, we're going to leverage cosine similarity. The first thing that we'll do is we'll go in and configure the environment. Once we configure the environment, we'll load the libraries and we'll connect to OneLake. After we've got the data, we'll do exploration against all the different product IDs that are available. What you'll tend to see is that all of the different product IDs are represented across a number of different data types. Like in this case, candy chocolate with 1,246 different products, ice cream, 1,091 products. But what this means is this is a very good set of data for enabling us to do embeddings leveraging OpenAI and LLMs. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go generate all of those different embeddings. In generating those embeddings, we create it inside our embedding store and we store it all in OneLake. Once we have all that information, we can see all the different embeddings. So here's all the different products, and you can see the embedding by different categories across those different products. Once we have those, we can go in and look at the vector distances within that specific space and that specific orientation. The way that we do that is by displaying it inside of a graph here, where we can see the correlation and relationship between, let's say, pecans and peanuts and nut blends. From there, we can even jump straight into and look at it more from a understanding of the vector distances. So here you have, chocolate wafers and associated to other different products within that core category. So that gives you an understanding of how we can, with a single workflow, enable users to take advantage of integrating all these different technologies to conduct a successful AI experiment and create production-ready AI model. All of this powered by Teradata AI Unlimited's high performance and scalable engine via Microsoft Fabric. The other key thing that we're doing is in bringing Teradata AI Unlimited to Microsoft Fabric is really a better together story, enabling the end-to-end AI solution without risk or restraint of a production system, being able to spin up and spin down dynamically, and having tight integration with OneLake and all of the different Azure services like Azure GitHub, Notebooks, Azure ML, and OpenAI. One of the key things in a use case that we've deployed is being able to better understand customer experiences with next best offer. This is a grocery store retailer that has smart carts, and they wanted to be able to, in real time, understand the value proposition of what should be proposed to the customer. Let's take a look at how this comes into practice.
Teradata VantageCloud Lake with Clearscape Analytics helps our customers activate powerful analytics across their enterprise and take advantage of new AI use cases, including generative AI. This matters because Gen AI and large language models are set to fundamentally transform every industry, dramatically amplifying what people can achieve. While most companies are just beginning to explore how generative AI can drive value in business outcomes, Teradata is at the forefront of helping enterprises take advantage of Gen AI to drive better business results. Teradata partnered with a brick-and-mortar retailer to create a recommendation engine that's built into their smart cards. Most product recommendation engines are static and don't take into account the context of shopping. If you buy a certain product, you always get the same recommendations, which are based on analytic techniques such as product affinity or collaborative filtering. On the other hand, the smart carts in this example identified what products were in the cart and provided context recommendations using large language models. Now you may be asking, what does a language model have to do with grocery products? Large language models understand the context of a sequence of text and can predict the next word, like the auto-completion feature on your phone. This same technique can also be used to understand items that are typically purchased together and recommend additional relevant items. With a context-based recommendation engine, this retailer can enrich customer experiences, deepen engagement, and drive more profitable growth. Teradata simplifies the process of enabling end-to-end AI pipelines through 3 steps. Harmonize data and accelerate data preparation with VantageCloud Lake. Easily train models with one of the hyperscalers in our partner ecosystem, including Amazon SageMaker, Azure ML, and Google Vertex AI. Cost-effectively operationalize and scale AI across the entire enterprise with Clearscape Analytics. We can start with the data exploration using Teradata's new generative AI capability, Teradata Ask AI, within VantageCloud Lake. We can ask a natural language question through the interface. What are the top products purchased? The data is analyzed, and Teradata Ask AI provides a list of top products. We can also view these results as a visualization. The next step is preparing the data for the large language model using Teradata Clearscape Analytics, which delivers robust, end-to-end analytic pipeline capabilities included in VantageCloud Lake. In this scenario, we use Clearscape Analytics in-database function, 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗸, to prepare the transaction data for the large language model to efficiently sequence products which are purchased. Shown below is a Sankey visualization based on the output of the 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗸 function. You can see in the 4th line that someone has purchased Mexican-style cheese, burrito flour tortillas, and red onions. A large language model can understand the context that the buyer may want to make a quesadilla and recommend salsa, guacamole, and sour cream. Once we've prepared the transaction data in VantageCloud Lake using Clearscape Analytics, we'll need to train the data. Thanks to the recent collaboration between Teradata and Microsoft, you can now use Azure as your cloud storage provider, Blob Storage as your object store, and Azure ML to train your prepared data. Specifically, we can use the function write_nos to store the data in Azure ML Blob Storage. Here, we can check the data saved in Azure Blob Storage using Assets and then Data. Now, we're ready to use this data to train the large language model. Here is a depiction showing the technical implementation of the LLM. The training data is a sequence of products. The model architecture involves creating an embedding, which is a numeric vector space where items that are brought in sequence are close to each other graphically. A neural network, called a transformer, is used to train the LLM inside Azure ML to generate a sequence of products, which can be used to recommend products to customers. The technical implementation is available on train.py. We can also use OpenAI GPT models, but here we've trained the large language model using PyTorch library in Azure ML. The training is done by scheduling a job. It can take hours to train the model with CPU, but we can reduce that to an hour with an Azure ML GPU instances. The type of GPU used is GPU NVIDIA A100. After the training, the model is exported to a file called model.onyx. We can now easily import this file back into a table in VantageCloud Lake using Clearscape Analytics. Now we're ready to generate context-based product recommendations using the Clearscape Analytics function, Onyx Predict. Now we can see that a customer has put sponge biscuits, coffee, and mascarpone into their smart cart. What will the large language model recommend based on this context? Eggs, sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla extract, wine. The LLM has correctly understood the context that the customer is planning to make tiramisu. We have used VantageCloud Lake's natural language interface Ask AI for data exploration, VantageCloud Lake's Clearscape Analytics to prepare the data, Azure ML to train the large language model, and Clearscape Analytics to easily import the model, integrate it with further context data like which products are having a promotion or are out of stock, and then operationalize the model at scale. We help enterprises launch generative AI with superior capabilities and the lowest cost to scale. Power your next AI breakthrough by harnessing the possibilities of Teradata VantageCloud and Clearscape Analytics.